Hello everyone, my name is Ella. Welcome back to another video and Happy New Year! Quick update on myself. I am doing better. I don't feel as gross as I did when I first was diagnosed with COVID. The symptoms kind of keep coming and going. Like, I'll be okay for a few days, and then like yesterday I woke up with a sore throat again. And today I woke up and I can't stop coughing again, which is really fun and stressful. And I don't know what I'm gonna do because this is just kind of already thrown a wrench into 2022 right at the start. So that's fun. Also, I am filming on my laptop for the foreseeable future because I broke my tripod. I'm pretty sure I have another tripod somewhere in my stuff, but as you can see, my apartment is still a mess. That's all just desk stuff that is waiting for me to actually buy a desk, which is on hold because I am not making any sort of income currently until likely March or April. So, but yeah, so until I can either find my tripod, get a new one, or figure something else out, I'll be filming on my laptop, so if the quality is a little different, if the lighting is weird because I have to stand in weird places so that I can prop my laptop up to use it, that's why. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that I could continue making content for those of you that would like to see it. Today I'm gonna do what I wanted to do last week, but was kind of nixed because of everything that happened with my COVID diagnosis. I'm gonna talk about my New Year's resolutions. I feel like this year I was just absolutely not ready for New Year's, mostly because usually I have like a whole pretty new journal to use, and I usually write like my resolutions on the inside of the journal, and I didn't have that for some reason this year. Usually I have like a bunch of journals that are just like waiting to be used, and I couldn't find them anywhere in any of my stuff. So what I had to do, since I only got through June 30th of my journal last year because I moved and things just kind of like didn't happen, so I just never went back to my journal. So what I did was I just wrote my resolutions on the first blank page in my journal, and we just started my journal after that. So I'm just going to read through my resolutions and explain them a little bit. This is kind of a tradition here on my channel. I usually talk about my resolutions and what I'm going to do with them. So yeah. Also, if I sound out of breath, that's the COVID. So my first resolution, which is almost always my first resolution, is to lose weight. And sometimes I change the word. Sometimes I say get healthy. Sometimes I say lose weight. Sometimes I'm just like, you know, lose a certain amount of weight. And I think this is the year that I really like kind of want to stop beating around the bush and I actually want to like lose weight. I don't have a specific number or anything like that, and I honestly don't really have like a game plan. I'm just trying to exercise more. I'm taking steps to eat better and eat healthier and eat less. And I really feel like this is going to be my year. I hope I don't jinx myself by saying that, but I really want 2022 to be my year for a bunch of good stuff happening, and that's just the beginning. And like, I'm hoping, I got a Apple Watch for Christmas this year, and it's really helped already as far as exercising and stuff like that goes. So I'm hoping that I can just continue to use that throughout the year, and it'll help me make healthier choices. Save money for a cruise. I cannot for the life of me remember if I announced this yet on my channel. So if I haven't, I'm going to announce it now. I'm going on a Disney cruise this summer. We're going to be on, I think, the second sailing ever for the Wish. I've never done any kind of cruise whatsoever, and definitely not a Disney cruise. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it. And obviously I want to have a lot of spending money to get souvenirs and to buy stuff and everything when we have our stops at the different ports. So hopefully I am able to get a steady job at some point this year that isn't seasonal and save money so I can go on my cruise because I'm really excited. Drink more water. I feel like everybody puts that on their New Year's resolutions, and sometimes I don't know. Like, I'm very strange about water. Like, it took me forever to like get into water. And I know that sounds like really weird, but for the longest time, I just like didn't like drinking water. It like tasted weird to me. And there were plenty of other things that I wanted to drink instead. But now I've kind of realized that I kind of need water, and water makes me feel better. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is about drinking water, but it's like your body just like comes back to life. So it's been easier when I've been like at HHN and stuff like that, because when you're moving a lot and you're sweating a lot, then you want to drink water more. So this year I really want to work on drinking more water when I'm not desperately in need of water. So I've been starting slow, drinking one of these a day, and usually more. But the goal is to at least just get one of those bottles in a day, or the equivalent, because that's very bad for the environment, is drinking all those plastic bottles of water. But I'm working on it. I'm gonna work up. I'm starting with one. Technically, I guess it's like 2 cups of water. But I'm gonna drink more. I'm gonna work my way up. Because I have tried to do the whole like 8 cups of water in a day. And I think that is too much for my tiny little body, because anytime I try to drink 8 cups of water a day, all I do is go to the bathroom the whole time, and that is no way to live. So I'm gonna have to figure out the balance for getting enough water and not too much water, you know? So the next 2 kind of go hand in hand. I think I've kind of mentioned this before on my channel, but I write a lot on Tumblr for 2 different characters. And it's usually prompts that people send in for me. But towards the end of last year, I really started getting this like idea for a collection of short stories that I want to write, that I think is really unique. And I think there's definitely a niche market for it, if not a bigger than niche market for it. So I have a resolution to both write more and to publish a book. Now, I know that's like big dreaming out here, but self-publishing is a thing. And I feel like it's definitely easier to like self-publish a collection of short stories than it would be to like make an actual novel. So I don't really want to say too much about my idea, but I think it's really fun. They're paranormal ghost stories, but they're also love stories. That's all I want to say about it, because I don't want to say my idea and someone else that writes better than me take it. Not that they'd be watching my channel, but you know. But yeah, I'm really excited. I finally sat down. I've been writing half an hour every day, but I have to split it between my 2 different Tumblr blogs and personal writing. So I've only written 1 day of the year so far for this particular book idea, but I have never written so much in half an hour in my life. And I feel like that means that I've really got like something going there. So I will definitely keep everyone updated about that, because I think it's really fun, and I really hope that it finds the audience I am hoping finds it, because it's just, I don't know, it's cool, and I have so many ideas in my head that I want other people to experience. So wish me luck, because that's going to be a whole process. Read more. This, I guess, technically kind of goes along with writing more and publishing a book, because I feel like the more you read, the more you just have like different styles and different words in your head, and you can kind of like differentiate what kind of like vibe you want in your writing, if that makes sense. I didn't go to school for writing, so I don't know all the technical terms at all or anything like that. But I feel like the more you read, the better of a writer you become, just because you are consuming so much different content from different creators. And it just, I don't know, I feel like it just like gives you more to work with in your brain. See a therapist again. And that one I have put on several times, and I never got around to it because I was like, I can't afford a therapist. But I found out that at Universal, we get 6 free therapy sessions a year. So it's on me. I gotta set that up so I can start seeing a therapist. I feel like mentally, And emotionally, I am more stable than I have been in a very long time. So that is definitely helpful, but I do think that seeing a therapist, just to have someone to talk to about when I do have struggles, would help a lot and would just kind of keep me a little bit more well-rounded and kind of keep my emotions in check. So that is something I will be doing. Hold me to it if I'm like halfway through the year and I haven't found a therapist. Make me. Get my dream job. Now, I feel like my dream job has kind of like changed definitions as I've grown up, because obviously I've always wanted to perform. And that is still, I guess, technically the ultimate dream job. But until I can feel comfortable enough with my body and with my own performing skills, my real dream job would be escorting part-time or full-time at Universal. I got a taste of what that actually is with the Universal Holiday Parade, and I really want to do that. Like, that's what I want to do until I can like actually like perform and get cast in things at Universal. So that's my goal. When we were doing the holiday parade, they put out a little like interest sheet for getting on with entertainment escort at Universal. But they haven't contacted any of us back, and it's stressing me out because I don't have a job right now because I'm still seasonal at Volcano Bay, and they won't call me back until March or April or May. So I'd really just like for them to just like email me so I can either get a yes or a no or an interview or something so that I can get a job elsewhere, because I gotta pay rent. It's January 5th and I gotta pay rent in 3 weeks, so something's gotta happen. But yeah, escorting is it's what I want to do until I can consistently perform, and I don't know, like it's everything that I thought it would be the first time I used to, like when I worked at Disney, entertainment escort was what I really wanted to do. Like when I did my interview for the DCP, I really wanted to do entertainment escort, and obviously I never got it, and now I can't work for Disney ever again. And it's essentially the same thing at Universal. So if I can't do it at Disney, why not do it at Universal? I'm also at a point where I know a lot of the people in entertainment at Universal, so I've got connections, so that's helpful too. And yeah, I'm hoping that I hear something back soon, and even if I don't, that they like still keep me in consideration for some point during the year, because I know they told us that they would need more escorts after Mardi Gras ends, but Mardi Gras doesn't end until March or April, and that'll be about the time that I go back to Volcano Bay. So like I would like to have an answer before that, because as much as I love Volcano Bay, I don't want to go back there. One, I can't remember. Like, it's been so long since I've been there that I don't remember all the like aspects of my job. It's very simple, but like, I don't know, I would feel better if I had like a training session or something, just like a refresher course before they threw me back out there. But what I really want is to stay in entertainment at Universal, and I'm hoping that that can happen. Pay off some bills. This was on my resolution list last year, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you if I did or didn't pay off bills, because if I did, then I got more. Because I know at one point I paid off my Torrid bill, but then they like got me with the whole keep your status, and I was like, oh dang, I want to keep my status, so I bought things that I really didn't need, and so I think I'm almost done paying that bill off again, and after that I think I'm just like not gonna use it unless I know that I have money to pay it off immediately. A lot of my other bills are like in the thousands, so those are nowhere near being paid off. And I started to go to the dentist again last year for a while, and now I'm not, because I understand that I can't afford it, but I'm like $2,000 in debt from them just from like 3 visits. So if I can just pay off just like one bill this year, I'll be happy. I'd like to pay off more, but like realistically, I'll be lucky if I pay just one off and keep it paid off. This would be so much easier if I had a full-time or even a part-time job, but no, Universal doesn't like to hire people. They just like to keep them seasonal and use them when they need them. The last one that I have on here is, it's like silly, but it's like something that I want to remind myself of. And that's do no harm, take no shit. And I don't know, like I always have at least like one or two little like resolutions that are about like, I don't know how to word it. I guess I want to say like me, like last year, I think I had some on there. Let me see. It's in the same book so I can find it easily. Yeah, like last year I had 2 on there. One was harbor less anger and one was enjoy life more. And so I guess that's kind of what I was going for with this one, with the do no harm, take no shit. Because, like, I feel like this past year I got to a point, and I'm still kind of at a point, where I've just been harboring a lot of hatred and anger, and sometimes it's at myself, sometimes it's at, like, circumstances that I can't control, like getting COVID or, you know, not getting hours at work and stuff like that. I'm sorry I started crying. I just like, I don't know, it's a rough time right now, but I don't know, like I feel like I'm not the person that I used to be. I feel like I'm just so angry and mad and mean all the time. And I don't like that. I don't want to be like that. So I really just want to like get back to the person that I used to be. And I don't know, just like, because I used to be so soft and sweet and good, and I know that kind of sounds conceited, but like, this is going to be the silliest thing, but like, I wouldn't even kill like any, like a spider or a bug that got into my apartment. I wouldn't kill it. Like, I would put it in a cup and take it outside. And now I feel like I don't even have like the patience with myself to do that. Like if I see any kind of bug in my apartment, I kill it on sight. And like I said, that's really silly, but like that's not the kind of person I want to be. And like I know like for a lot of people like bugs are bugs, but like if you treat bugs that way, eventually you start treating animals that way and people that way. And this probably doesn't make sense to anyone but me, but like, I don't know, I want to be a better person, and I just want to be less angry at everything, I guess, at myself, at people, at circumstances, and so I just want to really work on that this year. And to address the second part of that, take no shit, I just don't want to be walked on anymore. I feel like that is also part of my problem, is that I've been so nice and good to people that it often takes, like people often take advantage of me for that, and I don't want that to happen anymore. So 2 parts to that. I don't want to be mean to people. I don't want people to be mean to me. So I'm sorry for crying. I don't know where that came from. I guess I've just been stressed with everything in life recently. So anyway, that's all of my resolutions for this year. I used to go in with like a lot of resolutions, and then I would always feel bad when I didn't do like half of them, because then you look back and you're like, oh, I only got through half of my resolutions. But when you think about it, if you've got like 15 or 20 resolutions written down and you've done 10, that's good. But when you compare that to like 20 that you wanted, then you feel bad. So I've tried to start doing less and less resolutions so that even just one small victory feels good. So that's why I don't have as many this year as I have in the past. Quick life update here at the end. I know I had a life update at the beginning, but I'm doing one here now as well, just to kind of talk more about my situation and everything, because it is frustrating, and I do kind of feel like I am screaming for help and no one is listening. So like I said, COVID has thrown a wrench into everything. I currently have no job, not because of COVID, but because my time with the parade ended. So, like, I guess I technically wouldn't have a job right now anyways, but having come down with COVID meant that I had to cut my job off early with the parade. So instead of getting 7 days on this paycheck, I have like one. And I think it was like a 5-hour day, so I'm getting like $30 or $40. And my rent is like $1,400. My parents can only pay $500 of it, so I have to figure out how I'm going to come up with $900 when I have no job and no way to get any kind of income. I've been making art. I don't know that any of it is very good. I'll get some and show it to you. So I made this star, and it's double-sided, and I did the other side first. But I'm showing you this side first because this side looks good. And I put like blue tape on the back side of this so that the blues wouldn't bleed on to the other side, but that was unsuccessful. I guess I'll have to figure out how to do the tape on here so that the paint from the other side doesn't bleed over, because I feel like the double-sided thing with like opposite color schemes was a really cool idea. I just didn't quite nail the execution like I wanted to. So that little star was only like $1 at Dollar Tree, so it wasn't an expensive mistake. I just don't know that I can sell that because like it's messed up, and like maybe I could do like a Misfit sale and like discount it because it doesn't look great, but I don't know. And then this one I did, how did it go? This way. I did this one. It's a little bent because some of the paint was thicker than I wanted it to be because the paint thinner that I used didn't work. So it dried all weird, so it's like, it dried like that. So I'll have to flatten it out a little bit. But I did this one while listening to Eleanor Rigby by Cody Fry. So this one is called All the Lonely People. And I don't know, I did it while I was listening to the song. And these were the colors that popped into my head while I was listening to the song, and I just kind of threw paint on here, and that's what I got. So there's this one. And then the one I've done most recently, I was doing one piece of art a day this year, and then I realized last night that that was going to be a surefire way to get me to burn out very quickly. So I'm like reeling it back a little bit so that I don't burn myself out right out of the gate. But this one I did the day before yesterday. It's one of my favorites so far. I did a show yourself color scheme with this one. I can't decide if I want to leave it like this or if I want to write show yourself on it, but I feel like if I write show yourself on it and I don't like the lettering or don't like the way that it comes out, then I've ruined the whole entire piece. So I can't decide if I'm going to leave it like this or not. But yeah, that's what I have so far. I have a bunch of canvases. I have a bunch of paint. Paint pouring is what I like to do the most right now, just because that's what I'm most skilled in as far as painting goes. But I am like, the intention is to sell these. So if you're interested, or if you know someone that might be interested, comment on here. I can contact you either through here or through some of my other social media if you follow me on other social media. And I'll let you know pricing and stuff like that, because I mean, like I said, I have no job right now, so any bit of extra income I can make right now helps. Like I said earlier, I also write on, I mentioned that I write on Tumblr, but I also have a Coffee account where I write personalized fiction and fan fiction. So like if there's a character that you really like romantically or platonically or anything, and you want a story that's like personalized to you, I can do that. I also write fiction that is personalized to you, poetry, anything like that. So if that's something that you're interested also, I will link my Ko-fi account down at the bottom of this as well, just so you can kind of, you know, see like my guidelines and everything, what my writing costs and stuff like that, if you're interested in it. Even if you're not, if you can just like share or just like spread the word, because like I currently have like $50 to my name, and that's before bills this month. And like I said, rent I've got to come up with $900 for in 3 weeks. So any little bit helps. I don't want to beg people. I'm not going to beg people, but if you could just like spread the word about my art or about my writing, I would appreciate it greatly. Okay, before I start crying again, I'm going to wrap up this video for now. If you have any video ideas that you would like for me for the foreseeable future, let me know. I would go to the theme parks, but until I know that I am no longer positive, I'm not really comfortable going to any theme parks or anything like that. So it's going to have to be something that I can do around the house. So if there's any ideas, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want to learn about, I can talk about my painting process, I can talk about my writing process, things like that. Anything like that, just let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you'd like to be notified of when I post new content, go ahead and click that little bell icon down there. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!